This is the new Subaru BRZ, and at face value it doesn't look hugely different from the predecessor. It still has twin exhausts around back, a double bubble canopy here in the middle, and an aggressive face at the front. But despite the first gen's immense popularity, owners and critics alike agree that it was screaming for more power, more torque, and more refinement. So, with this new model, did Subaru actually listen? Well, at face value, it would appear so, because the old 2-litre flat 4 with the power of 4 harnessed children and less torque than a cordless drill has been thrown away, and in its place we now have a 2.4-litre flat 4. Power has risen to 174 kilowatt and torque is up to 250 newton meters. While that still doesn't sound like a lot, especially compared with the next tier up of sports cars like the 400Z and the Supra, trust me, it makes a world of a difference. Drive still goes to the rear wheels only, it still has a factory limited slip differential, and most importantly you can still get it with a 6-speed manual transmission, although a 6-speed automatic, which is basically carried over from the predecessor, is also available. However, while the old one had skinny little Prius tyres back here that made it so easy to power slide you could do it at 30 k's an hour while reading a book, this new one is fitted with 215 wide Michelin Pilot Sport 4s on lovely looking 17-inch wheels. That, along with stiffer anti-roll bars and stiffer suspension, means that this new one is more of a serious driver's car, where the old one was just a sideways machine. The torque dip that plagued the old car is gone too. You actually get consistent pull in the mid-range now, which is really nice. And the 0 to 100 time has improved too. It's now over a second faster to 100 than the old model, doing the sprint in just 6 seconds flat. And when the time comes to need to scrub off that same 100 k's an hour, it does so rather effectively, thanks to massive Brembo brakes up front. But the biggest improvement is definitely the interior. It's a similar layout to before, but everything is just a bit sharper, more modern, and better put together. You've now got digital gauges with 2 layouts, one with a round tachometer, and if you put it in track mode, then you get a banner style tach like a McLaren. The screen on the side here can show a G meter, a power and torque curve, along with your typical radio, navigation, and settings functions. The steering wheel looks fantastic. Nice and small, but with enough buttons to control the hands-free phone, music, and gauges. It's got Subaru's eyesight system too, which, while nowhere near as advanced as some other new cars we've had on the channel recently, it does offer forward collision warning, road departure warning, blind spot monitoring, and adaptive cruise control. Infotainment is handled by this 8-inch touchscreen here in the middle, which frankly looks like it was lifted out of a Konica Minolta commercial printer, but it's still a massive step up over the previous BRZ's head unit, which was no more complex than a microwave display. However, despite the fairly average resolution graphics, it does offer a decent array of features. It's got a good reversing camera, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto, everything you need and nothing more. These seats here are absolutely lovely. While it would have been nice to have leather upholstery on the inside, I do like the wine-coloured textures that contrast the black fabric seats nicely. They are heated as well, which is good for cold wintry days, and the fabric grips you really well when going through tight corners on track. So, aside from the fairly average infotainment display graphics and somewhat built to a price sensation here on the interior, the drive at least is mostly fantastic. We'll get the negative parts out of the way first. The steering, gearbox and brakes are fantastic. You know exactly what's happening when you turn the steering wheel, change gears and hit the brakes. They're all excellent. It's the clutch and throttle that I've found to be a little bit hard work, especially at lower speeds. Because it is an electronic throttle, it doesn't have any feedback when you put your foot down, and the clutch is a little bit light and springy, which makes it hard to control. And then there's the rev hang, you know, second gear, foot down, come off the throttle, and it just lingers up there for quite a while. You have to sort of retrain your brain when driving this car. But let's be honest, no one's buying a Subaru BRZ to just poodle it around. They want to attack a road like this with it. So let's put it up into track mode and see how the BRZ goes. predecessor. You now actually have torque, so you put your foot down in third gear and the car actually accelerates. Thanks to a pretty light flywheel, once you get the revs up, then, oh, you can rev match perfectly. The pedal box is placed faultlessly for heel toe, and the steering, I know exactly what the front end is doing. The gear ratios are perfect too. Doesn't even get to 100 k's an hour in seconds, so you can use first, second and third gear before reaching motorway speeds, which is just fun, you know. If you've got a small 4-cylinder engine paired with a manual transmission, you want to be able to use it without going too ridiculously quickly, you know. And then there's just the handling. Man, it grips so beautifully through these corners. And the LSD works to make it fun, where it'll waggle the tail around a bit if you want, but most importantly, it puts the power down predictably on corner exit. And it's not like crazy fast where you can't use the power that it has available. You can literally go foot to the floor anywhere you want, and the car will just be like, yep, let's go. This is what driving is about. Imperfect, windy roads, with a car with not too much power so that you can use 100% of it all the time. And man, the best way I can describe this new BRZ is that it is everything great about the old model. Manual transmission, rear wheel drive with a limited slip differential, fast, great feeling steering, good strong brakes. It is just the perfect back road car, but now it has a nicer interior, it has a few more features. I love the new steering wheel and seats in this car. The transmission still feels great, but fundamentally, that engine, oh, is what makes this new one so much better. It's certainly not blisteringly quick, but you're not feeling like you want more. This car has enough now where you can use all that it's got. You're not going too quick, but you're not also going, oh, come on, get on the move, you know. It's just fantastic. So, there's still a couple of points for improvement with the new BRZ. It's not extremely communicative at low speeds. It doesn't sound all that great inside, not helped by the fake sound, although it sounds alright outside. The infotainment isn't world-beating, and the interior frankly feels like it's from 2015, not 2025. But in a world where no other manufacturer except Mazda with the MX-5 is making anything like this, I do really commend Subaru for still putting this car on the market. Despite its small flaws, it is still a proper enthusiast car, and I must confess I've had a lot of fun driving it over the last couple of days. It manages to be perfectly dailyable, provided you don't need to fit more than one person or lots of things in the boot, but it tears up back roads with ease, slides around at walking speed in the wet, and is generally just an absolute hoot to drive. If you bought one of these, I think you would be really happy. And at a hair under 60 grand, it's a little bit cheaper than the MX-5 and a lot cheaper than the 400Z and the Supra. But what do you think about the new BRZ? Would you have it over the MX-5 or a hot hatch like the Civic Type R or Corolla GR? Let us know down in the comments, and I think I might keep driving.